We're diving into the Basketball World Cup, unearthing 3 underdog teams that are not just here to participate, but to shake things up and be a headache for the top dogs. Italy didn't lose a single game during their prep for the World Cup, and they didn't just beat teams that they were supposed to beat, like China and Puerto Rico. Italy won against Serbia, who are very good even without Nikola Jokic and Vasilija Micic. Italy beat Greece, who don't have many of their star players this summer, including Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Greece still boasts a squad with some high-level EuroLeague players. And like pretty much every team at the World Cup, Italy isn't at full strength either. NBA veteran Danilo Gallinari hasn't played a game for nearly a year due to a torn ACL in his left knee. The current NBA Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero, was heavily recruited by the Italians for a couple of years. They gave him a passport, but eventually the Orlando Magic forward decided to represent the USA. One of EuroLeague's best point guards, Darius Thompson, was also on Italy's radar, but the procedures for obtaining his Italian passport weren't completed in time for him to play in the World Cup. Former Golden State Warriors guard Nico Mannion sits out the World Cup due to accumulated fatigue. Italy is determined to show that they won't lose sleep over their missing important pieces. There's a lot to like about Italy and how they play. They have nice size across all positions and have shown great unity on the court. Yes, Utah Jazz's Simone Fontecchio will be their biggest offensive weapon, but Italy's game is centered on getting the best out of everybody and creating space to exploit the opposition's defense. There are a couple of question marks over Italy's roster. Former NBA player Niccolò Melli is a good center, but his backup options are lacking. At point guard, Alessandro Pajola is one of Europe's best perimeter defenders, but he isn't a top-level offensive orchestrator. Marco Spissu can be very good at that, but his lack of athleticism and size might become a problem against top-tier sides who will surely look to take advantage of Spissu's weaknesses. If the Dominican Republic could get all of their best players on the team, they'd have a very good squad, at least on paper. The Dominicans go into the World Cup without the 5-time NBA All-Star Al Horford and the Sacramento Kings guard Chris Duarte. Neither of them explained why they aren't in the squad. The Dominicans can't also count on the forward Justin Minaya, who made his debut in the NBA last season. The former Portland Trail Blazers member explained that it's best for him to focus on getting physically ready for the start of training camp and next club season. Yet the World Cup isn't a tournament that lasts for many months, and where having a deep squad is essential. It's nice and can be an advantage, but given that the tournament goes on for 2.5 weeks, it's possible to go deep with a short rotation. Just look at Poland at last year's European Championships. They reached the top 4 by beating Luka Doncic and Slovenia in the quarterfinals. And over 9 games in the tournament, only 7 players averaged 15 or more minutes per game. In the backcourt, the Dominicans will rely on 2 players who play in the Spanish top flight, the strongest national league in Europe. Andrés Feliz had a career season with Badalona and was one of the best players for a team that reached the top 4 in Spain. Jean Montero is just 19, but he was named the Spanish League's best young player and was a fantastic scorer. The shooting guard, small forward Lester Quinones comes off a great NBA G League season where he was named the most improved player and was selected to the all-rookie team. Small forward Lionel Figueroa had 2 very good G League seasons, and in the upcoming season, he's going to play in Germany, one of the strongest leagues in Europe, for Ulm, who are the reigning champions. Power forward Angel Delgado has been really good in Europe over the last couple of seasons and is a tremendous rebounder, being especially active on the offensive glass. And then we come to the Dominicans' biggest star, Karl Anthony Towns. The Minnesota Timberwolves star is coming off a season where he had to deal with plenty of injury issues. But Towns has looked good in the preparation games before the World Cup and seems to be in fine shape. The Dominican Republic seems like a team that will need their big guns to perform close to their maximum in order to go deep in the World Cup and will likely focus on outscoring their opponents. They have a quality core, and although they lost 3 out of 4 prep games, they did beat Canada. And their biggest loss was just a 9-point game against the reigning European champion Spain. Finland didn't used to be a basketball country, but things have changed dramatically over the last 15 years or so. Lauri Markkanen's ascendance to the NBA has obviously played a big part, but the truth is that Finland's rise has been happening since 2011, so plenty of years before Markkanen became a star. In a way, Finland is similar to Italy. Fontecchio's teammate at Utah, Markkanen, is their biggest offensive weapon, and he's had some very good prep games, including 32 and 24-point games against fellow World Cup team Lithuania, and scoring 29 against Estonia. Markkanen was also very good at rebounding the ball, and his scoring output was even more impressive thanks to the fact that he made plenty of very tough shots. And just like Italy, Finland has a problem regarding point guards. Baylor University guard Miro Little and Eden Makshuni are likely going to be the main men, but they really aren't good enough to be offensive orchestrators at the highest level. That requires Finland to play a very team-based game, and luckily for them, they don't have to rely solely on Markkanen and creating chances for him. Guard Sasu Selin is one of the best shooters in Europe, and Mikael Jantunen comes off a nice season in Italy, one of the strongest leagues in Europe. Jantunen also impressed the Golden State Warriors as they invited him over to play in the NBA Summer League. Finland's biggest issue at the World Cup is the fact that they are in a very strong group, as both Germany and Australia are hoping to go all the way and have very strong teams. All in all, be prepared for a very exciting World Cup.